Hello, welcome back to Confessions of a Yarn Addict podcast. It's been a while. Don't quite know what happened when we got back from holiday, but I think I recorded one episode and then I kind of lost the plot a little bit. Actually, I do know what happened. Yarndale happened. A few other things happened, which I'll talk about in a minute. But first, I'll introduce myself. My name is Anniken, and I design knitting patterns and I teach knitting workshops. And I'm based in Cornwall in the southwest of England. But as you may hear from my accent, I'm originally from Norway. So, yeah, Yarndale happened. Yarndale was amazing. Then I had another local event called 3 Bags Full here in Liscard, where I live. And then this weekend I'm in Cardiff. I'll talk more about that later. And I also have had quite a few workshops since I've been back. So since I've been back from holiday, which is a month, nearly a month. I think I've done 4 workshops. So it's been a busy time, which is why I haven't had time to record. So I want to start off this episode with a very quick kind of video clip or string of video clips from Yarndale. Yarndale was in Yorkshire at the end of September. It was amazing. I really enjoyed it. It was a brilliant show. It was great to see lots of people, lots of new customers, lots of regular customers, lots of people I've known for years, lots of people I've never met before but I've known online. It was absolutely amazing. Really, really enjoyed it. So I'm going to add in a little clip from Yarndale now. My plan was for our trip to Yorkshire, because we went up for a few days. We actually stayed with some friends about 40 minutes from Skipton, where Yarndale is held, and we had a day and a half of kind of sightseeing with them before we did the show. And I had planned to video all the whole trip, take regular videos, and I kind of completely forgot. So and even at Yarndale I kind of forgot. I did do some video, but I did it for Instagram stories, which means that it's in portrait and not landscape. So I'm sorry, this next video is in portrait, most of it. There's a couple of bits in landscape, I think, but most of it is in portrait, and most of it was filmed for Instagram stories. It's not the best quality. So I apologize for that, but it's just a very quick look. Only about 3 minutes or something, so it's not very long. What I store looked like, what it looked like when we arrived, what it looked like when we finished setting up, and just a few of the stalls that we managed to see. I didn't have a lot of time to look around the show because it was very, very busy, but I did go have a quick look around on Sunday morning. We walked around a little bit. It's also a huge show. Somebody said there were about 200 stall holders. I don't know whether that's true or not, because I haven't studied the brochure in that much the program in that much detail, but yeah, it's a big show in a big auction mart in Skipton in North Yorkshire. And I'm still struggling with a knee and a lower back injury, which I got in August, and I was in quite a lot of pain when we went to Yorkshire, and I was really struggling to walk. So even if I wanted to walk around the whole show and look at all of the shows, which I wanted to, but even if I had the time to do it, I wasn't able to do it because I was just in too much pain, and I had to be fit to serve on my stall all day. I did sit down as much as I could, but it was still a bit of a struggle. So I only got a chance to look down a couple of aisles, and then I ran around a couple of stalls very quickly and grabbed a few things, which I'll show you in a minute. That was it really. So in this episode I'm going to show you what's on my needles at the moment, the things I bought at Yarndale, and some other things I bought since Yarndale, and just talk a little bit about what's coming up. But first I'll add the clip from Yarndale so you can see what happened. So my box of yarn finally arrived. I've been in a little bit of a panic over the weekend because the box of yarn I ordered last week didn't arrive. I think they tried to deliver it on Saturday when I was out teaching, but it just arrived on early Monday afternoon. We're leaving on Wednesday, so now I'm going to unpack the box of yarn, count everything. I brought down some of my stock from my studio or my office, box room, whatever you want to call it, which I'm also going to count and sort, and I've got to bring some more stuff down. I've got to go through all my samples and decide which ones to bring, and if I need to block any, which I don't have much time. So busy afternoon. I got Netflix on and boxes everywhere. So this is the big box of yarn that just arrived, which I've just got to try and unpack. And then I've also got spreadsheet on my laptop ready, and I got some boxes, empty boxes, brought down some boxes from my office. There's more boxes behind me as well. And I've got a few more things to bring down. So all the yarn has been priced, counted, sorted, and it's all packed, ready to go. So we're ready to leave for Yarndale, leaving in about an hour. The yarn mobile is packed and ready. Just got to get our clothes in, which may be a problem because the car's pretty full. So all ready for the long trip from Cornwall to Yorkshire. So we've arrived at Yarndale, ready to start setting up. Got some lovely crochet blankets behind me. I'll flick you around in a second to let you have a look at our store, but we're getting ready to set up now. Day 2 of Yarndale, and we're just having a wander around to see what's here. That's Simon in the background. So let me flick you around and give you a taste of what's here. I hope you enjoyed that little clip from Yarndale. Just a little taste of what it was like. I did manage to have a quick look around on the Sunday afternoon and do some buying of my own. I didn't buy a lot, but I wanted a skein to go with this Lithuanian linen from Midwinter Yarns. And they were on the aisle next to me, or 2 aisles from me, I can't remember, so they were quite close to me. So on the Sunday afternoon I quickly popped around there to look for a yarn that went with this, or to get another skein of this and do a 2, because I want to do a 2 skein shawl, either 2 of the same colour or 2 different colours. They don't have this one at the moment because it was a summer exclusive colour, but they did have this one, which I really like. So this is a rich, quite dark, purpley, plummy kind of colour. They also had another lighter purple which went really nicely with this, and I'm actually thinking I wish I'd gotten a skein of that as well, so I might have to get that and do that instead. But my plan is to, at the moment my plan is to put these 2 together. Not 100% sure about it, haven't quite made up my mind yet, but that's my plan at the moment. But I haven't got time to do anything with them quite yet anyway, so I'm just going to put those down there. So by the time I get a chance to do it, hopefully I will have made up my mind. And then I also went to a store, and I don't know how to pronounce their name. It's something like Anniken. It's A-N, new word, C-A-I-T-A-N-B-A-A-G, I think, Anniken. I'll find their link and I'll put it below. I don't know how you pronounce it, but they do lots of really nice knitting accessories. They do a very popular cat sweater. There's a sweater pattern with like a cat yoke, which is Really good fun if you like cats. They do a lot of things themed around cats. I'm not a cat person, but they also do some of their things for dog people, so themed around dogs rather than cats, because I'm not a cat person at all, but I do love my dogs, or my dogs rather. I do love dogs. They did some pins which I really liked, and they do some of them as cat pins and dog pins. So I got a dog pin. I wish it was, that's the first one. I wish it was a black dog, because our dog is black. Our previous dog was black. Our dog before that was black. So yeah, I wish it was a black, the dog was black, but it's a white dog. It's got a bit of sparkle on him. And he's basically sitting in a nest of tangle of wool. Hang on, can you see that? So he's sitting in like a, I think that's a bit blurry, tangle of wool here, and it says, "I made you a thing." So yeah, I thought it was quite cute. Alfie's never actually done that to my knitting. Neither did our previous dog, thank goodness, because I would not be happy. And then there's another one, and I can't remember, this is something diagram. I can't remember what it's called. Have I got the label here? No, I haven't. If you're a sciencey person, you probably know. But it's a something diagram. I can't think of what it's called. But basically it's, the blue circle says feminism, the pink circle says, yellow circle says dogs, and the pink circle says knitting. So it says feminism, knitting, dogs, and then in the middle where they all meet it says me. So feminism, knitting and dogs, that's me. So I like that. And then also that's the, can you see that? That's a sweater, or like a drawing of the sweater, like cat sweaters. So I don't know if you can see that. Got like cats on the yoke. That I was talking about a minute ago. So this is a tin of stitch markers, if I can get them open. So these are just, I'm not going to tip it because I'm worried about tipping it over. So these are just the padlock stitch markers, which I really, really like. In there's pink, there's green, and there's blue. I don't know how many there are of each, but there's quite a lot of them in here. I'm always using those stitch markers. I use them for some of my classes. I use them in my own knitting all the time, and sometimes I get close to running out of the ones I got. So I got a pack of those just because I went to get the pins and I just saw those and I just picked them up as a bit of a impulse thing, really. And then when we got home from Yarndale, I had a lovely parcel waiting for me. So and I'll put the links to all these places below, by the way. So there's a Norwegian company called Bliss Fleur knitwear. The Bliss Fleur is whistle in Norwegian. And she designs knitting project bags. She also does a lot of embroidery on knitting. She does knitting patterns as well. She's very well known for embroidery on knitting, and her embroidery is absolutely beautiful. And she designs knitting bags, project bags. She's done a knitter's rucksack, which I actually have. I don't use it very much because it's a little bit big for me. She does a knitter's project bag, which I have. She does a yeah, lots of different things, but one of her bags is this one. So this is a project bag. You can use it as a normal handbag. It has, she does this one in like a short handle bag and a crossbody bag. I actually have the crossbody bag in a red, in a grey. But I really like this one. The colour wasn't quite what it looked like on screen. I thought it was a bit more, it's red, dark red, but I thought it was a bit more like, I basically thought it was a little bit more like that. Not quite that dark, but a little bit more towards that kind of red. But it's a little bit different than what I thought it would be. But it's got a big pocket on the front where you can put your purse, handbag type stuff, or knitting notions. And then it's got a drawstring. If I undo the drawstring, it opens up into quite a big bag. And then inside it has, let me turn it inside out so I can show you what's on the inside. On the inside it has, on one side it has these smaller pockets. You can put pens, needles. It's got this pocket here with like these holes in the top. that you can thread your yarn through. So if you have the yarn in your bag, say you're doing a project with different colours, and they like a Fair project or something like that, and the yarn keeps tangling, you can actually thread it through here and then knit from it. So that's quite a good idea, I think. And then on the other side, it's got a big slip pocket. You can put your pattern or notions or your phone or tablet or whatever. It's made of quite sturdy lined, so lining on the outer fabric is the same. It's quite sturdy lined, I think it's canvas, cotton canvas or something. Yeah, it's quite a nice bag. You can just use it as a handbag, but it is made to be like a knitting project bag, really. She does it with like a short leather handle and a crossbody handle. The only thing I would say is the crossbody strap for me is too small. So I got it last summer, the crossbody bag, and I could not wear it as a crossbody bag with the strap it came with because it's way too short for me. But I'm tall and I'm also a plus size, so and the lady who makes it, I think, is she looks quite tiny. And on her, it looks like the right length. But I'm tall, I'm also plus size, so for me, it just doesn't fit as a body bag. So I shortened it and used it as a shoulder bag instead. I did actually use it quite a lot last summer as a regular handbag. But I don't know, I just kind of got tempted by this just before Yarndale. I got it. It's big enough for a sweater project, probably. I haven't used it yet because I wanted to show it off here first, so I'm going to start using it. I might use it as my project bag for this weekend's knit tea retreat, which is in Cardiff, which is where I'm teaching this weekend. I'll say a little bit more about that at the end of the video. And then since I got back this week, actually, I also got tempted by a little something from a company called Fab Funky Fibres. It's a British company. They specialise in self-striping sock yarn, and I've got knitted socks with their sock yarn before. I've done 2 pairs for me at least, maybe 3. I think I've done a pair for one of the girls, possibly Vanessa. And they do self-striping sock yarn. They were one of the first ones that I became aware of that did really nice self-striping sock yarn with quite thick stripes. This isn't actually self-striping sock yarn. I was tempted by one of their Colour Pop minis. So this is a set of mini skeins. It's 100 grams. It's 5 mini skeins, 20 grams each. It's 100 grams in total. So there is a yellow one, orange one, pink one, green one, and a turquoisey one. So they have like a solid colour on one end and the speckles on the other end. So I have no idea how that's going to knit up, but it's an interesting colour. I'm actually thinking about, I got an idea for this, and I will probably mix it with possibly a grey. I need to do a bit of swatching to see how it goes, but I've got an idea for a shawl where I'm going to mix these with possibly a grey, and I have a very special idea in mind for the project, which I'm not going to tell you about now, but you'll find out more later. It's also, I've just noticed, I didn't notice before, here it's got a one of those little padlock stitch markers that I just showed you. It's got one of those sort of copper one attached here as well. So I really like this yarn. It's very pretty. I haven't tried their speckles before, but they are make really great socks. So I'll put their link below. So I highly recommend you check them out, especially if you're in the UK. And then this weekend, this weekend just gone, I was teaching at Wool Palette in Plymouth. It's not, it used to be a yarn shop. She now runs, Barbara who runs it, she now does, organises workshops in Plymouth and Plymstock in South Devon, here in the UK. And she also has an online shop, I think, that she sells a few bits and pieces through. So, I've had this before, this colourway before, and I could actually buy it wholesale, but she had them there, and I like this colourway, so I got one. It's bright pink. I've knitted with this colourway before. I made a pair of hand warmers in them. I can't remember the name of them now, but I used this colourway for the actual pattern. But I'm thinking about doing hand warmers for me, or maybe socks. I haven't quite decided yet. I quite fancy a pair of bright pink socks. So I haven't quite decided yet, but it'll be something probably fairly soon. So just because I was teaching there, she had them on the table, I got tempted, so I got one. So that's the purchases I've made recently. I'm just checking to see if there's anything else here I've forgotten. So I'll go on to tell you what I've been knitting. So good news is, I haven't actually brought it upstairs to show you, but my big linen shawl that I cast on for my holiday in Spain, I only have the cast off left, so it's nearly finished. I got to cast it off. I just finished the last wrong side row before I came upstairs, and I need to cast off, which I won't have time to do today because after this I'm going to go and have some lunch, and then I'm going to Plymouth because I'm meeting my husband to go to the cinema this afternoon. So I won't have time to finish it today, but I will be finishing it tomorrow and then blocking it, and I can't wait. So next week hopefully I'll be able to show you that all blocked and see what it looks like. It is huge. I did kind of run out of stamina a little bit towards the end, so I did actually take out the last main chart repeat that I planned to do and skipped straight to the edging because I was struggling with my stamina, to be quite honest. So that's nearly done. And then I've got I think I've showed you these before as well. I can't remember. These socks I knitted. I cast on these when we got back from holiday, I think. Originally they were supposed to be for Emily, but they're actually going to be for my husband. So that's the first one. It's got an afterthought heel. So this is the waist jump for the afterthought heel. And then I got that far on the second one. So if I just hold them up together, so that's how much I got in knit. I had actually hoped to finish them last week. I went to the cinema on last Friday, to see Downton Abbey, which is quite a long film. So I took this with me and I worked out how I could keep track of the rows without using my row counter or my phone, because every other round is a knit to purl to rib, and every other round is a knit round. So I need to know which round I'm on. Odd numbers are rib, even numbers are knit. So what I did was, on my phone I have a water tracker. I got a Samsung Galaxy smartwatch, so which I had for my birthday. So I got a water counter, so I was using that as my row counter basically. And I started off quite well. I did probably about 10 rounds, 15 rounds, something like that. And then I happened to just notice that when I got to the end of a needle, I was supposed to purl 2 and I only purled 1, and then I didn't have another stitch to do the second purl stitch. So I kind of unpicked back in the dark and did that row again, because I thought I must have done wrong somewhere. I must have done like knit 3 or purl 3 together somewhere. So I just unpicked back, beginning of the needle, knitted it again, and the same thing happened. So I tried to count it, and I had 30, I should have 31 stitches. I should have 32 stitches on each needle. I had 31. So one way you can see what's on your needles in the cinema, even if it's very, very dark, which the cinema was, is if you hold it up in front of your face like that, when there's a light, brightly lit scene on the screen, if there's a light scene, if you hold it up like that, you can, in front of your face, you can see through the knitting if you've got a bright background. So if there's a dark scene, like film in the dark, you won't be able to do it. But if it's a brightly coloured scene, like a daylight scene, then you can hold it up like that and you can just about see it. So I had a look to see if I dropped a stitch. I couldn't see anything, and I spent a little bit on, then I put it in my lap for a bit and ignored it. Then I went back to it and I was looking at it again, and I thought, I can't see where I made a mistake. And I didn't want to carry on knitting because obviously I knew it was wrong, so I thought I'm just going to end up having to unpick it. So I put it down, so I didn't do anything more. So I thought I would probably have had enough time to finish most of it, but I didn't. I'd actually, by 4 rows down, at the beginning of the needle, I dropped the very first stitch. And I think because it was kind of here, that's why I couldn't see it when I held it up like that. So we're going to cinema this afternoon to see Judy, film about Judy Garland with Renee Zellweger. So I'm going to take it with me and try again this afternoon, and we'll see if I got any better luck this afternoon. Then I got 2 new projects to show you. So I am thinking about maybe taking this one instead, but I don't think I will, because I don't think I'll have enough, don't think it'll be enough knitting to last me for the whole film. So we're going into winter. It's middle of October, going into winter. So I decided I need a new hat. So I cast on for a hat. Now the yarn doesn't look that great on screen. It's mainly pink. It's Lang Miller Colory. It's mainly pink, but it has a bit of red, orange and brown in it. It starts off with pink. It's knitted top down in stocking stitch, and then it's going to have a lacy edging. It's actually a hat I did quite a few years ago, in double knitting, but I never actually wrote up the pattern. I did chart out the lace pattern on it, but I never wrote it up. So, and I've been meaning to re-knit it ever since, and I'm not great at designing hats, but last winter I designed the linear hat, which I really, really love. So I thought, well, let's give it another go. So that's what I'm doing with this. But yeah, I'll show you more when that's finished. I need to actually put on the longer needle and actually try it on for size, because I wasn't very thorough about swatching and working out the tension and doing all the maths. So I'm just hoping it fits me. So I will hopefully be able to show you more of that next week. Might try and finish it this weekend. Just going to chuck that on the floor quickly. And then I have one more new cast on, which I actually just cast on about 10 minutes before I came upstairs to film this. So I have had this yarn all summer waiting to be cast on, and there's just been so many other things that got in the way that I haven't gotten around to it. But it's from a yarn company that's only about less than half an hour from where I live. It's Blacker Yarns. If you've been to any of the big shows in the UK, I'm sure you've seen them. They're quite well known. Blacker Yarns. They spin their own yarn. They have a spinning mill in the next town over from where we live, Launceston in Cornwall, and I've been to their mill a couple of times. I've taught a workshop there, seen them a lot of shows and things like that, and I've used this is their Blueface Leicester lace. I've used it before and it is absolutely gorgeous. It's 100% pure Blueface Leicester wool. It's 350 meters per 50 gram, so 350 meters per ball. So I saw Sue, the owner, at Woolfest in June, and she asked me if I was interested in using this yarn for a design, and she let me choose the colours. So I went for these two colours because I really like the look of those. I was very tempted to go for purple instead of the blue, but I thought, well, let's just go for something that's a little bit out of my comfort, well, not out of my comfort zone, but something I wouldn't normally go for. But I really like these two together. They're gorgeous colours. Their colour range in this yarn is stunning. It's a really nice yarn to knit with, and I've cast on for a shawl, and I have done about 2, 4, 6 rows. So that's how much I've done. So not very much yet, but I literally just cast on before I came upstairs. So done about 6 rows. So I'll hopefully have more of that to show you next week. This weekend I'm away teaching, so I won't get much knitting done this weekend, but I will take this with me because I might get a little bit done in the evening. So that's that. Just gonna make sure I put everything back in there. So I'm using my project bag from who's it from? It's the Fabulous Mr. G. Fabulous Mr. G. It's a Harris tweed one. I love this project bag. So I'm using that because that's about the right size at the moment. So that's also my needles this week. My priority in the next week is to work on that shawl from Blacker Yarns and also finish that hat. I decided to do the hat because it'll take me a while to do that shawl, and I've got the linen shawl ready to go, but I could do just a few smaller projects in the run up to Christmas, and doing a hat is much quicker than doing a shawl. So, and I just want to get a few smaller projects kind of ready to be released in the run up to Christmas. So you might be wondering what I'm wearing. So I love this. I'm going to see if I can show you the back of this actually. So I don't know whether this is going to work out. I don't know whether you can see it. So obviously I can't see what you see, so that might be a complete waste of time. But this is a cardigan, loose fitting cardigan, kind of loose fitting, called Trebayan. I've actually sent off hopefully the final copy of the pattern to the tech editor this morning, so I'm hoping I'll be able to release it at the end of this week. It's Tuesday today when I'm filming this, so I'm hoping to upload this podcast on Thursday, and I'm hoping to release this pattern Thursday or Friday. So I have actually filmed a video showing how I seamed this cardigan and how I blocked it, and then I was hoping to film my cardigan, do a little video clip outside of me wearing it, showing how it's worn. And I was going to do it before I came upstairs to do this, but it started raining and I just looked outside and it's dry again now, so I might be able to pop outside and do it just after I finish recording this. So there is a separate video on this design, how I seamed it together, how I blocked it, and also a little bit look about what it looks like when I'm wearing it. So I will put all the details below, because hopefully by the time I'm ready to upload this video the pattern will be ready to go, so I will put the details below. Okay. But it's really nice, and I was a little bit chilly when I came upstairs, and I'm just wearing a t-shirt, so I put this on rather than putting my boring grey sweater back on. But I really like it. It's knitted in Sab Ball 100 in one of my favourite colourways, 2365 I think it is. By the way, you can see behind me here, that's some new kits that I've listed in the Yarn Addict online shop. I'll show you quickly some of the kits I have available at the moment. So we got the Venezia kit, so that's a poncho knitted from the top down in Shopple 6 carat. So we've got a range of colorways. This is a black one. There are other colorways as well. Comes with the yarn, the beads and the pattern, and you get a PDF version of the pattern as well as a printed copy of the pattern. But it's in a range of different colorways. So that's the Venezia one. Then we got the Peafowl Feathers, which is this poncho. This was very, very popular at Yarndale, and we actually sold out of the pattern and the yarn for it on the first day. So that's a poncho knitted from the top down. It takes just one cake of the lace flower, and it also comes with beads, printed pattern and PDF pattern. Now all these kits are discounted, so you save a little bit compared to buying the yarn and the beads and the pattern separately. But this is very, very popular at Yarndale. And then we have also in the lace flower, we have the ivy shawl. And we need to get some more photographs taken. That one's not too bad, but that photograph is awful. My husband says I look like a hunchback in the photos, so I need to either swap that one to the front or do some new photos. But that's the same colorway as this one. That's the same. So I've knitted in that colorway. I've knitted this cardigan, this shawl, the Trums shawl, which is a smaller shawl, and a hat, the linear hat. So I really clearly like this colorway. But again, the ivy shawl takes one lace flower and some beads, and you get the printed pattern and the PDF pattern as well. And then we've got let me just pop that up there. Then we have the Mist on the Moor poncho. Again, this is another one I need to get a better photo of because that's awful. Mist on the Moor poncho. That comes in two different sizes. I think this one comes in two sizes as well. Yeah, so the Peafowl Feathers poncho comes in two sizes as well. Mist on the Moor poncho comes in two sizes. I'm wearing the larger one in the photograph because I'm tall and quite big. The small version takes 2 balls of Zaba Ball 100, and the large version takes 3 balls of Zaba Ball 100. Again, it's got beads, and you get the printed pattern and the PDF pattern. So I got those kits available. Oh, and one more, which is in my lap. So I actually got the sample for this one. So this is the Bodinik poncho, which I think was my last pattern release. It's a colourwork pattern and poncho that comes in 4 sizes, I want to say. So 1, 2, 3, 4 sizes. This is the largest size, which fits someone my size, and I have it in this colorway, and then one with light grey and 2 blue colors. Let me see if I can grab it. Okay, so it comes in this dark grey, lavender and pink colorway, and then it comes in another colorway where it's, so that instead of the dark grey on this one, got the light grey, and then those 2 colors for the color work. Okay, and that one comes with blue beads. If you don't like the colour beads and you would like another colour beads, just have a look and see what colour beads I have in my shop, and I can always swap them for you. You can just send me a message. Hang on. You just send me a message and I can swap the beads for you if the beads aren't to your liking. But those kits are in the shop now. They're all discounted compared to buying the full kit, so have a look at that. What else? Next few weeks, workshops wise, I've got continental knitting coming up at Spinny Yarn in Devon. I also have the Crantock shawl coming up at Spinny Yarn in Devon. If you want to know about all my workshops, the easiest thing is to subscribe to my newsletter, because all my workshops are listed in my newsletter, and I will add the rest of this autumn's workshop to the newsletter this week. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this. This is going to be slightly longer than I intended, as usual. I need to stop talking so much. I've got loads of things coming up. I'm hoping to record another episode next week. If there's anything you'd like me to talk about, just leave a comment below. Tell me whether you were at Yarndale. Tell me what you enjoyed most by Yarndale if you were there, and tell me anything. Just leave a comment. And if you like this podcast, I'd love you to subscribe and share it with your friends as well. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next week.